So let me start by noting that this is a genuine tale and a little bit of me ranting. I met this girl online when I was 21, and we dated for almost a year before falling in love. We made the decision to get married. 7 years later, I'm at home and my wife is at work. Due to the snowstorm that day, she had to travel with a friend to work that night. The driveway was basically impassable. She didn't come home at her usual time the next morning. An hour passes, then another. She eventually returns home. Nothing seemed strange about her, but I had a feeling something was wrong. It's difficult to describe the atmosphere around her. I hinted at her cheating, and she stated that she didn't, and that her companion was a woman. So I just thought, whatever. Days passed, and she kept bringing up the fact that she had a misconduct complaint against her at work for making inappropriate jokes, which I think is ridiculous. She brings it up again one day, and I just ask her, you keep mentioning this and it seems worse than just telling me. Did you cheat on me? The fact that she didn't respond told me everything. So, in my morbid curiosity fueled by emotional agony, I wanted to know what happened. She admitted that she cheated on me. I packed my things and prepared to leave, but she cried and begged me to stay. We had 2 children with a third one unknown at the time, who would be mine. I tried to make it work, but it never healed properly. We separated. She got remarried. I've been single for 4 years. I'd like to say I'm content, but I'm not. I think I'm just lonely. On top of that, she has been spreading lies about me. Edit. A few days after finding out she cheated, I'm back at home cleaning up. And I come across a phone she had a week or 2 before that no longer worked, but still had all the texts and whatnot on it. So out of curiosity, I checked the messages, and sure enough, she was texting one of her exes and bad-mouthing me and talking about how I can't satisfy her. A huge lie. I lost my temper and packed my things for real and waited until she got home. But in the meantime, I texted her telling her it was over and so on. She came home being disrespectful and expecting me to say something. Then she burst into the bedroom, yelling at me for looking through her other phone. I said, "Oh, so you're mad I caught you doing something you would never have told me about?" and started to walk away, but she stopped me and cried and said she would let me be intimate with her. This is something I've been reading a lot about since it all started. The unfaithful woman always seems to regret it and beg you to stay while tempting you with things to make you feel better. However, they always use those things against you later. Specifically, the lies she has told. I too have been lied to. My children are mine. All 3 have been DNA tested and are in fact mine. What happened was an unplanned event. Her words, not mine, which, to be honest, makes things worse. I can't completely distance myself from her. We have to talk and sometimes joke. We are civil to each other in person. For the sake of our children, I stayed with my partner, but that was all. Now on to the next story. My girlfriend and I decided to end our relationship and split up last week. I took the initiative and approached her. Since then, we have been living separately in a civilized manner. However, my girlfriend suggested that we have a farewell over wine and party one last time. I initially refused, but eventually gave in. We spent the night professing our eternal love and making promises to work on our marriage. The next day, I was left confused and struggling at work. What now? I went home and waited for a chance to talk about the previous night. However, my girlfriend seemed distant, said nothing, and avoided physical contact. She was essentially ignoring me and even went to sleep to avoid any interaction. When she woke up, I had a question for her. "What are we now?" Her response was cold and dismissive, reminding me of what we had discussed before. But come on, we were both intoxicated last night. Those were just words. I needed a reality check. So, I spent a lot of time today reflecting on everything that had happened in the past few days. After talking to others, I realized that I had once again been manipulated through my emotions. I had given my body and my vows of love to someone who constantly seeks validation and admiration from others. This is narcissistic behavior. She saw that I was pulling away and regained control through intimacy and manipulation. I'm stuck living with this person until the end of the year, but I have decided it is time to take action. I no longer want this person in my life. They hold the key to my mind. I needed to defend myself, and now it must be done. As soon as she came home from work, I explained why our interaction should be limited from now on. I told her that I felt exploited, mistreated, and lied to once again. I then stood up and confronted her, expressing my lack of trust in her and my intention to inform her supposed affair partner's wife. She became aggressive and threatened to report me to the police, to tell everyone in our social circle that I am crazy and bipolar, and warned me of dire consequences if I contacted her supposed affair partner's wife. I showed her that I had recorded her threats on my phone, and then I sent a message to the affair partner's wife. The message simply stated the dates, times, and details that can be found through Google Maps, Uber, and messaging applications. I only told her what I knew, that they had spent one night together on a business trip, but I had no proof of any physical intimacy. Please visit the website provided above. There was no yelling or physical confrontation during our conversation. I thought I was safe from her revenge, but then a bombshell dropped in the affair partner's house today. My girlfriend eventually left, her brother came to pick her up, and she was gone. I am no longer under her spell. I made a mistake by sleeping with my unfaithful wife before our divorce was finalized. She swore me undying love, promised to work on the marriage, and agreed to try again, only to deny everything the next day and say it was just a farewell. Just a farewell. I realized I needed her out of my life as soon as possible, so I told her AP's wife. I didn't give it much thought before sending the message to the AP's wife, but now it's public. Did I go too far? Thank you for listening to the story until the end. If you enjoyed it, please support us by liking and subscribing to our channel. Leave a comment to let us know your thoughts on the story.